Hey guys, this is Pharaoh 2091, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney for Nintendo DS. Last time we left off, it looked like we weren't gonna win whatsoever, but then Emma came out of nowhere, and, well, it still didn't kind of help. But we only have one thing left to go with, and that's the bloody handprint that's on Detective Goodman's, Detective Gumshoe's locker, so could there be something missing? Well, if we say there's no problem, then we're screwed. We can't go with anything, so I object. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. Oh boy. The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something's missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? I think this, actually. Why? Can't remember the reason, but I know this is what you pick. Just playing this before. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? Ugh! Huh, that's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at the spot on the locker. What? Oh, jeez. So that means, just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma? On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on his tape, taken by a security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. And what other time is he talking about? Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refute you. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found in the locker. So then, assuming this murder you poor put really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To surmise, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was disguised as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. The blood mark in the locker proves this. Very well. Then tell us, when did this first incident occur? Proof must be presented. Proof that shows that the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that I can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Surprisingly, it is the ID card record, because if you check it, well, we still have one number, alright, that's not revealed. And they're saying that Mike came in at 4:50 and he came in at 4:50 to place the Blue Badger in, right? So that means that you got two possible conclusions. Either Edgeworth or whoever the mysterious number is on top. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the perpetrator had to have entered a room. In order to do so, an ID card is required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record! Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done? I never figured you had nerve, boy. Put off the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away. But by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining, 7777777. So it's 7 sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up that owner of the ID card. At least, at present. What? Explain yourself, son. ID card number 7777777 belongs to someone of a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous! Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted, an official charge... You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777, I believe. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing. about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Ooh. Jeez, okay. Do you need a witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At that time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. What? Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, what are you just saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't! I don't have to, Officer Marshall. What? Why don't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. Oh, shit. Okay. See? That's what I'm talking about. No! No! Order! 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 Yeah, they sound really pissed off about it. Lana's remarks caused quite a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Dear God, did she really just admit that? Oh! Did she just admit that sometimes that forging evidence was done so that the victim or the defendant got the verdict that they deserved? I mean, wow. I mean, this definitely brings up a lot of, like, this is what I also like about the game. It also brings up a lot of ethical, kind of situations. I mean, I understand this is just a game, you don't take it seriously, but, I mean, you could always look into it a little bit deeper, and yeah, I mean, that is something ethical, and it makes you wonder, does that stuff really happen nowadays? And frankly, I'm pretty sure it does. I mean, they don't make games like this for movies or whatever and like have that stereotypes of lawyers being greedy sharks and doing all this seedy stuff. I mean, it comes from somewhere, and well, I fully believe that, yeah, it does happen somewhere out there, So, just makes you wonder a little bit, right? So, guys, that is it for the second trial. So, next time, we're going to be going into the final investigation of this crime, of the case, shall I say, and also the final investigation for the game. It's been quite a ride, so next couple parts will be all investigation, and we'll see how it turns up. So, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for Nintendo DS. I'll see you guys later.